You thought having a baby would bring you closer to your partner. Instead, you're living like roommates who barely speak. You're exhausted, touched out, and resentful. Your partner feels neglected, and both of you are wondering where the hell your relationship went. Welcome to the reality nobody warned you about. Welcome to Parenthood Unlocked. If you're 6 months into parenthood and don't recognize your relationship anymore, you're not alone. Today, we're breaking down the 6 brutal ways a baby changes everything. Not the cute Instagram version, the real, raw truth about what happens to couples after that baby arrives. Let's talk about the adjustment indicators that signal you're in the thick of it. Here's what's happening in homes everywhere right now. Before the baby, you and your partner were a team. You went to dinner, you watched movies, you had conversations that didn't involve poop schedules. You laughed together. Life wasn't perfect, but you felt connected. Then the baby arrived, and within weeks, everything shifted. Now you're awake at 3 a.m. feeding the baby while your partner sleeps. You're covered in spit up, haven't showered in 3 days, and can't remember the last time you felt like yourself. Your partner tries to help, but somehow it's never enough, or they do things wrong, or they're at work while you're drowning at home. You snap at each other over nothing. Who left the bottle warmer on? Who forgot to buy diapers? Who gets to sleep in on Saturday? Every conversation feels like a negotiation. Every day feels like a battle. And you're both so tired that you don't have the energy to fix it. Statistics show that 70% of couples experience a sharp decline in relationship satisfaction after their first baby. 70%. That's not a small number. That's most of us. And yet, nobody talks about it. Everyone posts the perfect nursery photos and the sweet newborn smiles. Nobody posts the 2 a.m. fight about whose turn it is to change the diaper, or the silent treatment after someone criticizes how you're holding the baby. So let's talk about the 6 reasons this is happening, the 6 adjustment indicators that every new parent needs to understand. Reason 1, you're both running on empty. Sleep deprivation isn't just being tired, it's cognitive impairment. Studies show that parents lose an average of 3 hours of sleep every night during the first year. That's 1,095 hours of sleep. Think about that. When you're that exhausted, your brain literally can't function properly. You can't regulate emotions, you can't think clearly, you can't be patient or kind or understanding. You're in survival mode. And when both of you are in survival mode, nobody wins. You're irritable with each other. Small problems feel massive. You say things you don't mean. Your partner does the same. And suddenly, you're in a cycle where exhaustion breeds resentment, which breeds more conflict, which breeds more exhaustion. The solution isn't just sleep more, because that's impossible with a newborn. The solution is acknowledging that you're both impaired right now. When your partner snaps at you, it's probably the exhaustion talking, not them. When you feel rage over dishes in the sink, that's your depleted brain, not a real crisis. Give each other grace. Take shifts so one person gets a solid 4-hour stretch. That's not luxury, that's survival. Reason 2, the division of labor is never fair. Even in the most equal partnerships, having a baby exposes imbalances. One person is typically doing more, and that person, usually the mother, is keeping score. I changed 6 diapers today, you changed 2. I got up 3 times last night, you got up once. I meal plan, grocery shop, schedule doctor appointments, wash bottles, do laundry, and somehow also keep this baby alive. What did you do? The resentment builds. And here's the kicker. Even when partners try to split things equally, it often doesn't feel equal. Why? Because of the mental load. One person is holding all the information in their head. When to schedule vaccines, what size diapers to buy, which formula the baby tolerates, when the baby last ate. The mental load is invisible labor, and it's exhausting. Solution? Stop keeping score. Start talking. Sit down every week and divide tasks clearly, not vague responsibilities like you handle bedtime. Specific tasks. You do the 7 p.m. diaper change and bottle. I do the bath. You research daycares. I schedule the pediatrician appointments. Write it down, revisit it, because needs change as the baby grows, and both people need to take on mental load, not just physical tasks. Reason 3, you've stopped being lovers and become co-parents. Before the baby, you were partners. Now you're colleagues in the business of keeping a tiny human alive. Your conversations revolve around the baby. Did he nap? How many ounces did she eat? Should we call the doctor about this rash? You plan your days around nap schedules. Your date nights, if they happen at all, consist of talking about the baby. Physically, things have changed too. Many women don't feel ready for months after birth. Their bodies are healing, they're touched out from holding a baby all day, they're exhausted. Meanwhile, their partners feel neglected and rejected, which creates more distance. Solution? You have to intentionally protect your identity as partners, not just parents. Even if it's 5 minutes a day where you don't talk about the baby, ask about each other's day, tell a joke, sit on the couch together, hold hands. It sounds small, but those moments rebuild intimacy. And don't pressure for you're both ready. Focus on physical affection that doesn't lead anywhere. Hugs, kisses, back rubs. Reconnect as humans first. Reason 4. You parent differently and it's causing conflict. You think the baby needs to cry it out. Your partner thinks that's cruel. You want to follow a strict schedule. They think babies should be fed on demand. You're comfortable letting grandma babysit. They're anxious about leaving the baby with anyone. Every parenting decision becomes a potential fight. Here's what's really happening. You both have ideas about what good parenting looks like, and those ideas came from your own childhoods. Maybe you were sleep-trained and you're fine. Maybe they were held constantly and they feel loved because of it. You're both operating from different blueprints. Solution? Discuss your parenting philosophy before conflicts arise. Talk about how you were raised. What did your parents do that you want to repeat? What do you want to do differently? Find common ground. Then, on the issues where you disagree, compromise. Research together. Try things for 2 weeks and evaluate. But stop criticizing each other's instincts. You're both learning. You're both going to make mistakes. Be teammates, not opponents. Reason 5. You've lost yourself, and that's affecting everything. Before the baby, you had hobbies. You went to the gym, hung out with friends, pursued interests. Now, you're completely consumed by parenthood. Your entire identity has shifted. You're mom or dad and nothing else. And that loss of self is suffocating. When you lose yourself, you become bitter. You resent the baby for taking your freedom. You resent your partner for having more freedom than you. You resent everyone who gets to live a normal life, and that resentment poisons your relationship. Solution: both parents need time to be human, not just caregivers. Schedule solo time, even 1 hour a week where you do something for yourself. Go to a coffee shop, take a walk, see a friend, read a book. It's not selfish, it's necessary. When you feel like yourself again, you're a better partner and a better parent. Protect this time fiercely. Trade off with your partner. Both of you deserve it. Reason 6. Nobody prepared you for this, and you feel blindsided. You read about labor, you researched car seats, you took parenting classes, but nobody told you that your relationship would take the biggest hit. Nobody explained that you'd feel like strangers. Nobody warned you that you'd fight more than you've ever fought. So when it happens, you panic. You think something is deeply wrong with your relationship. You wonder if you made a mistake. Here's the truth. Your relationship isn't broken. It's transforming. This is one of the hardest transitions 2 people can go through, and most couples struggle. But struggling doesn't mean failing. It means you're in the middle of something really difficult and you need tools to navigate it. Solution? Normalize the struggle. Talk about it. Don't pretend everything is fine when it's not. See a couples therapist if you need to, not because your relationship is doomed, but because you're going through a major life change and could use guidance. The couples who recover aren't the ones who never struggled. They're the ones who acknowledged the struggle and worked through it together. Here's the real talk. The first year after a baby is brutal on relationships. It just is. But it doesn't have to destroy you. 70% of couples see a decline in satisfaction, but that doesn't mean 70% divorce. Most couples who survive this phase come out stronger, not because it was easy, but because they fought for each other while fighting through exhaustion. You're not a bad parent because your relationship is hard right now. You're not a failure because you feel disconnected from your partner. You're human. You're both doing the hardest job on earth with 0 sleep and no instruction manual. Cut yourself some slack. Cut your partner some slack. And remember, this phase is temporary. Your baby will sleep eventually. You'll have more energy eventually. You'll feel like yourself eventually. But your relationship needs active work right now, not someday.